be here at Amsterdam Fintech Week. I'm Richard Doty, CEO and founder of Scale Up Consulting and author of Unlock Hidden Profit Zones. And today we're having a chat with Funs. He is out here. He's just finished a keynote, which was pretty good. Well done on that. We're chatting about what's going on in fintech right now, and also we're going to start looking at what's going to be happening in the next year or two. So let's kick it off. And this is a thing on everyone's tongue, especially honestly, my friends, my colleagues are always talking about this, and it's all about gamification, right? But here's the thing. I think one thing is to talk about it. The next thing is to really understand what the challenges are in order to get different elements or different components into apps so people can actually start using them. So, let's kick off the conversation and let's start at that point. What do you see as let's say the top 2 or 3 challenges to help embed gamification elements or components into apps, fintech apps?
Awesome. Well, thank you for being here. Happy to be. Gamification. Well, the interesting part is it's happening everywhere. I'm looking at my my grocery app, and I see gamification in there as well. Same for fintech. I think one of the big challenges is the balance, because financial products is serious business. Like you can. Debt, et cetera, is important. And if we gamify that too much, then what will the result be for our consumers, right? If it becomes too easy, I think that finding that balance is one, very important, but also challenging. But I do believe that it's the importance of gamification and what we say in a broader term is gaming culture, is understanding and using that to reach this audience. Because if you don't, then for them working with this particular fintech app is going to feel like we are, using the yellow pages to find a number for a company to call, right? It's going to feel outdated. They won't feel connection, which is then the opposite of what you want as a company and a brand, of course.
I guess you want to enhance the consumer experience. We can come in and we can do all these fancy things with tech, but at the end of the day, we want to give the consumer the right experience, the right options, and then once we do that, they can go off and make their decision, go on their journey, right? So, just going back to that embedding question, what are you guys doing when you look at the user journey, the consumer journey, making certain that that optionality is useful rather than annoying? That's
exactly what we talked about before. Is like, if this next generation is expecting these things of you and your brand, and if you won't, you're gonna lose the connection with them. It feels like, especially because with this metaverse conversation, or however you want to call it, if things aren't, for example, interactive and stuff is too straightforward and direct, and there's no lot of options for personalization, which is also something that's very important for this next generation, then it's going to feel broken to them. And again, it's really about, it's not for fun. Yes, it should be a seamless experience for consumers, but for this next generation, it's going to really feel like companies are speaking a different language to them, which again, they won't understand. So the results are going to be lower than normal. And again, when we then talk about financial products, it's even more important that we do the right thing, right? And then if the right thing means talking their language to get them, to prevent them from making mistakes, to get them to the right products instead of the bad products, this language and this culture and this gamification is very much needed.
Just in your experience, what do you think are let's say the top 3 major benefits for consumers through the embedment of gamification?
I think it's quicker learning. I think it's easier for people to understand, again, because you speak in their language. It's making it a little bit more fun than, we all started with banks and with the big pieces of paper. The more we can make that seamless and fun, but again, with the right balance, as we mentioned before, that's exciting. And again, I think it's all for the same end result, is that to help people the right way. Therefore the fun element is important, the language is important, and therefore gamification is important.
And we've been through a bit of a roller coaster ride over the last few months in the fintech world, fintech industry. But we're in September, so we're moving on, and we're looking forward to a good Q4, a really good Q4, and then we're looking into 2023 and beyond. And what do you see as the big opportunities that fintech leaders out there can really unlock and explode their companies and explode growth into the new year?
The one thing that pops in my mind, of course, is decentralization. I know it's a hot topic, but also maybe a scary topic for a lot of people. A blockchain, but I think as soon as companies acknowledge that this won't go away, the better, because I don't think it's going to go away, and therefore I think it's better for companies to start embracing this and seeing how they can actually play a role in this new world, instead of holding on to their old, hoping that will last. I mean, we all know the examples of the companies that never went digital, for example, the blockbusters of this world that now literally disappeared, and because they didn't embrace this new technology. And I think it's the same with decentralization and blockchain for fintech companies. And then the other, of course, big opportunity is what we call virtualization, where taking that next step into in digital, and again, not because it's cool or fun, but it's because we want to talk and reach this new audience that is going to become more important by the day. The oldest Gen Zers are now 24, 25, basically meaning that some already have full-time jobs, and there's a big group coming that are get their full-time jobs. So education in there, for example, financial education, but also in terms of what you can do on the internet and what you shouldn't do on the internet, all this stuff, there's a role to play for the big fintech players, and a responsibility maybe even. And but I see that as an opportunity, because this generation is big, it's very important, and they're more easy with money, and money flows on the internet than ever before, which is, again, makes it still a major opportunity.
I'm going to put you on the spot now. There we go. And to wrap this up, I think I know what your answer is, but I'm going to ask you anyway. And I've been asking this a lot to friends and colleagues that have come on my podcast, the Fintech Scaling Show, over the last few weeks, because I want to gauge the reaction. So here it is. Is Web3 a metaverse? Is it a myth, or is it a reality?
It's reality. I think I gave the example on stage as well. The internet bubble was a bubble. It definitely exploded in a lot of people's faces, but internet still changed our lives. We all live on it now, so we can definitely say that. And that's the same with Web3 and this metaverse virtualization evolution that's happening, especially to me in the foundational change that is happening to me in terms of technology is blockchain. And although, again, the bubble is maybe already bursting a little bit, I think in 10 years we won't talk about it anymore, because it's such a big part of our lives. So it's here to stay, in my opinion.
Okay, awesome. That's a wrap, mate. Really enjoyed the conversation, and looking forward to the rest of the day. And also, obviously, all the insights that you have showed us today. Let's see if they become a reality. There we go. Cool.